And Peter, if we could pan right back to the Fairleigh Dickinson Notre Dame matchup. Well, this is a wild one. Notre Dame leading by one match, 7-6, as Terrence has stated. The first team to get 9 victories will win and move on. This is a bronze medal matchup. Right now, the Notre Dame fencer has a lead of 2-0. It is Claudette de Bruin, and she is jousting there with Jennifer Murray, who's had a fine night.
John, this is a real critical match, and you can hear the Fighting Irish getting excited that they're ahead in this bout with their experienced Claudette de Bruin 2-0. If they win this match, the score will be 8-6, meaning that the best that FDU will be able to do is to tie the score, and the Fighting Irish are not happy with that call, folks.
Yeah, they have a nice little representation here, a nice contingent here at the Gosman Center.
Yes, this being a team sport, there's a lot of team spirit, a lot of team camaraderie. This is a very emotional sport, and if you think of this, we are reenacting a duel. This is combat, and as a result, it's kind of like an animal being put in a corner, fight or flight.
Terrence, before the matchup, they used something that looks almost like chalk on a pool cue. Could you tell me what's going on down there?
Yeah, John, that is the weight that I've mentioned a couple of times. The weight is placed on the tip of each weapon. Perhaps in between these matches or something, we can give you a close-up on one of the weapons, and I can show you what the tip of the weapon looks like. It kind of looks like a doorbell. Looks like the top of a nail or top of a doorbell, and they place that cue thing on top of it, which is a 500-gram weight, to test the spring which is inside the barrel of the weapon, to see if that spring is able to push back that weight. If someone's weapon does not push back that weight, they're going to have an unfair advantage because their weapon will go off more easily than an opponent's weapon. So it's a way of making sure that each of the weapons are equal to one another and no one has an advantage over their opponent.
It is 8-1 Penn State over Pennsylvania in the gold medal matchup that you're watching. And to our right now, we're watching the bronze medal matchup between Notre Dame and Fairleigh Dickinson. Notre Dame with a one-match lead. First 1-9 goes on. This is a bronze medal matchup. Right now, it's 2-1 in favor of Claudette de Bruin on the right side of your screen from Notre Dame versus Jen Murray from Fairleigh Dickinson. Jen Murray, as I stated previously, has had an awfully good night fencing.
Let me just say something about the machines again and these lights. For those of you who are just joining us, those white lights mean that an invalid touch is scored, meaning that the fencer's weapon goes off on any surface other than the metallic vest. That means that they either hit the leg, they hit the mask, they hit the arm, they hit the glove. There, Jennifer making a very aggressive action. This is a tight bout, folks. This is a 2-2 bout in a 7-6 match. FDU does not want to see Notre Dame get ahead 8-6 here, because that would mean the best that FDU could do would be to tie it up, in which case it would come down to touches.
And as we go to the left, we pan to the left in the gold medal matchup where Penn State is about to win the gold medal. You see the best in the nation, folks, Olga Kalinovskaya, who's done fabulous in the foil level.
Once again, Olga Kalinovskaya is the 1993 NCAA champion. Oh, the Fighting Irish! Listen to them, folks. Listen to them go. That puts them ahead 8-6.
So, Pete, if we can just stay with this gold medal matchup, as Terrence just stated, the Fighting Irish just downed. It was de Bruin who beat Murray. It is 8-6 in matches there, so Notre Dame only requires one more victory before they get the bronze medal.
They're chanting away. They really want this, folks. Meanwhile, over here in the gold medal match, it's 8-1. If Olga Kalinovskaya wins this match, and she's ahead 3-2 in this particular bout against Gaeta, she will cinch the gold medal for Penn State. Once again, the University of Pennsylvania has really struggled in this match, but they have done an impressive job. They and their coach, Dave Mechanic, all day long getting to this gold medal match, and this year they're just a little bit outclassed in this gold medal match. They're against a lot of experience, a couple of international fencers, but they're a young team, and we look to see them in the following years. And you never know, folks, even though it's 8-1, comebacks are possible, so we don't rule anything out.
On the bronze medal side, Pierette Kalter Well, she's called upon to prevent the onslaught of Notre Dame. She's going to fence for Fairleigh Dickinson. She's going to take on Mindi Kalogera.
That should be a good match. Pierette has been fencing well this match. She definitely has some pressure on her, folks, though. If she were to lose, this would mean that they would lose the match. Oh!
That's it. Olga Kalinovskaya.
Kalinovskaya, 1993 NCAA champion, cinching the gold medal for Penn State University.
And the partisan crowd responding. Well, Olga Kalinovskaya, who is, as Terrence and I stated, one of the premier foil fencers for women in this nation, if not the free world. And she easily guides Penn State along with our other Olga Cherniak to the gold medal here in the NCAA Championships here at the Gosman Center.
I want to just take a brief second to hear a few words from Mei Ling from Harvard University. She's the captain of the team. She was also the IFA, the regional champion, women's regional champion of Harvard, and she took, their team took 5th place at this tournament. Want to say a few words about that, Mei Ling?
Sure, the fencing here has been a lot higher level than any of the fencing that we've done the rest of the season, which is only natural because it's nationals. We came up against some competitors that we hadn't fenced before because they're out of our region, and we were a little bit slow to start with, but I think we ended the day very well, and we're pretty happy with our finish.
And we look to see a great performance from Mei Ling in the individual competition on Monday. Thanks, Mei Ling, and congratulations to Harvard for making this tournament and also for winning the regional championships.
Well, over here we have Notre Dame versus Fairleigh Dickinson, the bronze medal matchup. Penn State has won the gold medal going away here in the 1994 NCAA Fencing Championships. Only on ABT, Pierette Kalter has to put her finger in the hole of this wall to prevent it from bursting because there are fissures everywhere now for Fairleigh Dickinson. But Pierette Kalter, there could be no better fencer to choose and then to defend your team. Right now she's locked up at 2-2 with Mindi Kalogera from Notre Dame.
This is going to be a fight, John. It's going to be a real fight. Pierette is fencing well. Oh, she hits off target. Oh, we would have loved to have seen a score there, but she hits off target. She did not hit the metallic vest. She does not score a touch. The score remains 2-2. See how aggressive. Each fencer wants to be the aggressive one. Oh, and Pierette makes an attack, meaning that she was the one that started to be aggressive first. Once again, that referee, the person standing out there, is determining who is the first aggressor, who is the one making the thrust to the target. Oh, and there he's determining that Notre Dame was the aggressor in that action, and they score that touch, making it 3-2 in the match.
Kalogera on the right from Notre Dame, Kalter on the left from Fairleigh Dickinson, 8-6 Notre Dame. This is for the bronze medal. Penn State wins the gold, the silver goes to Pennsylvania.
Oh, and Pierette ties it up. This is a tense match, folks. Once again, if Pierette is not able to win this match, Notre Dame will walk away with the bronze. And John, Notre Dame is one touch away from the bronze medal. It is 4-3. Let's see if Pierette is able to tie the score up and to get out of this hole.
To use your expression, Terrence, this is combat.
This is, oh no, there, Notre Dame takes the bronze medal, folks. Notre Dame and the team and the entire team is descending upon the winning fencer. They are one happy team, John. That is a bronze medal for Notre Dame.
So in the women's team foil competition, here it is. The gold goes to Penn State, the silver to the University of Pennsylvania, and the bronze medal to Notre Dame out of Little South Bend.
Out of Little South Bend. And FDU from New Jersey has nothing to be ashamed of, folks. They have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. They were the at-large bid to this tournament, meaning that they were the wild card. They weren't even expected to be here, and they ended up fencing for 4th place. You can see them hugging each other, consoling each other, but they have a lot to be proud of, John.
Absolutely, and so do you, Terrence Gargiulo. Fantastic job carrying the play-by-play here in the 1994 NCAA Fencing Championships. So, for my executive producer, Jack Malloy, and for my director, Peter Boriskin, and for Terrence Gargiulo, John Horrigan back with Terrence Gargiulo, and also Peter Boriskin. And Peter, we're watching right now a women's demonstration of the épée. Could you ID? We have a Brandeis fencer in there.
The fencer on the left is Cindy So from Brandeis University, and she's fencing women's épée, which is now beginning to come into its own, where years later, actually years before, women were not allowed in either épée or sabre, but they're now starting and growing in both sabre and in épée.
How long has épée been a women's sport then?
Only for the past couple of years, only for about 2 years now, and it's really taking off. There are a lot of excellent women épée fencers.
So that exhibition match is over, and while Terrence comes in here, Terrence, we're seeing what is known as a demonstration for épée, and as Peter had just mentioned, épée for women, they were segregated as just foil fencers and not épée and sabre. Can you tell us about why that was so and why that is not so now?
Okay, well, folks, they're hoping to bring in women's épée into the NCAA championships next year, introduce it as a new weapon. Épée, let me just back up and say a little bit about the weapon épée. We just finished watching some foil, and in a few minutes we're going to see sabre. Épée is the original dueling weapon. It is a reenactment of a duel. The épée is a reenactment of the duel, and in this weapon the entire body is target, and you will have noticed that the bell guard is large, the blade is thick, and it is the first person who hits the target that gets the touch.
You mentioned, is it anything to do with strength on the part of women? It seems to be such a chauvinistic ploy to segregate women out of the sabre and out of the épée competition. It's got nothing to do with physical strength at all. It was just considered more that women weren't quick enough or something as medieval as that, or what?
I'm afraid that we really are suffering some elitist and chauvinistic tendencies in the sport. Yep. And what we're seeing is finally we're getting rid of some of those things. And it has nothing to do with strength. It has nothing to do with anything that really matters other than the fact that women just have not been allowed to fence the sport. And we're really happy to see it being introduced here in the NCAA championships.
Yeah, sometimes you have to pinch yourself. It's 1994 and still women don't have equal rights in this country. They're human beings too, and sometimes men don't understand that. And unfortunately, most of these governing bodies are made up by men. But the people at the NCAA here in this fencing championship have been so accommodating to us. Anything you ask, folks, these people have provided. I know that sometimes in the governing body of Massachusetts athletics, for instance, the MIAA, sometimes you get obstacles put in your way, but not here with the NCAA. It is a top-flight organization. Contribute to your universities, contribute to the NCAA. This is the 1994 Fencing Championships being held at the Gosman Center on the campus of Brandeis University in Waltham, Massachusetts. You're watching it on ABT, and we're going to be right back after this. Stay with us. And just some filler and stuff, and it's good. John Horrigan back with Peter Boriskin and Terrence Gargiulo. You're watching the 1994 NCAA Fencing Championships on ABT. Once again, special thanks to Jack Malloy, the Sports Information Director and Associate Athletic Director here at Brandeis University. Also, Mr. Jeff Cohen, the Athletic Director here at this fine institution as well. Phil McGrady back at Channel 8 in Waltham, Mass. And Narayan Kaimel at Channel 3 in Dedham, Massachusetts. Peter, we're talking about the difference of sabre. We're about to see sabre in just a little while. Give me a quick run-through. You were just saying just moments ago about the sabre competition.
Well, sabre competition is a blade where, unlike the other two weapons, unlike épée and foil, you use the side of the blade to score a point. And also it is consistent mainly of quick actions and quick attacks, such as our premier fencer Mike Mayer over there can demonstrate. It is done by what is called fleshing, where quick attacks are done down the strip and a slashing action is made to score the point.
Great. And we're going to come back with a quick interview with Mike Mayer right after this. We'll be right back. John Horrigan back with Terrence Gargiulo, and also a special guest, Mr. Mike Mayer. And Terrence, why don't you riddle some questions off with Mike, and also give us a little bit of a demo.
Okay, well, this is a real honor for me to be able to introduce Mike Mayer to you. I'm an alumni of Brandeis and graduated in 1990, and Mike Mayer has the distinct honor of having the best finish at the NCAA championships ever. He finished 4th place. You want to talk a little bit about last year's NCAA championships and that result, Mike?
Sure, but first of all, I'd like to mention that the record I broke was yours, so, you know, I'm a little honored myself, Terrence. Let's see, okay, last year, Wayne State, Detroit, it was a really interesting, tough competition, and I think I just did very well at the beginning and seeded myself very well, and then I was in a good position going into the finals, fenced a good friend of mine, Baron Rose from Yale, and beat him and then got into the top 4, and top 4 after that, faced a couple guys from Penn State, and they were a little too much for me, so...
So, Mike, last year was a first-team All-American, the best finisher ever at NCAA's from Brandeis University. Mike, also, you want to tell us a little bit about your history as a junior Olympic and as a junior fencer and some of the results that you've had in those competitions?
Sure. Interestingly enough, I started as a foil fencer, didn't change over to sabre until I was really senior in high school. My freshman year, I went to the Junior Olympics and got second, silver medal, and from there, I guess one of my better results was probably top 24 at the national circuit. So that's sort of like a...
So, folks, right here at Brandeis University, we have a very strong national fencer, and he is certainly disappointed. We appreciate him actually coming and speaking with us. He wanted to be fencing in this competition, and for a variety of reasons, some of which beyond his control, he was unable to compete in this year's competition. But I'll tell you one thing, Mike, speaking to some of competitors, they were awfully glad not to see you in this field this year. Made it a little bit easier not to have Mike Mayer in the field this year. Anyway, Mike, why don't you explain what we're going to be seeing in a few minutes here in the men's individual sabre championships, and explain to us a little bit about sabre.
Okay, well, first of all, sabre. Slashing weapon, and also a weapon where you can hit with the point. It's the only weapon where you can hit with anything but the point.
Just want to interject, guys, before you go on. They're having the awards ceremony right now. As you see, second place, the University of Pennsylvania, as they come out to the floor. On the left of your screen right now, that's Fairleigh Dickinson. They finished in 4th place. On the right of your screen is Notre Dame. They got the bronze. They finished in 3rd. There's the University of Pennsylvania now shaking hands in the blue and maroon. They get the silver medal. And, of course, Penn State wins the gold medal in this women's team foil competition. Just running down the list, Harvard finishes 5th, Temple 6th, St. John's 7th, Brandeis here at 8th. Good showing. Maybe you can comment on that. 9th, Princeton. 10th, Ohio State. 11th, Stanford. And 12th, Yale. But just to continue on with your interview, guys.
Once again, that was the best that Brandeis ever done. Our women's team was 8th in this year's championships, which is the best that the women's teams have ever done at this championship. We're very proud of them, and we look to... They're a young team. They actually will be all returning next year. We look to see even better things out of them next year. Just to remind folks, actually FDU standing there in 4th place was the at-large bid in this competition, and they really surprised everyone by taking 4th place.
John Horrigan back with Terrence Gargiulo, Mike Mayer, also Peter Boriskin. Right now, Terrence and Mike, we're getting ready for the men's sabre finals, and they're introducing some of the fencers right down for Penn State here. He's a highly ranked fencer.
Thomas Stalkowski has just been introduced. Mike, what can you tell us about Thomas and what you expect to see from him tonight?
Actually, Tom is one of the favorites tonight. He's won NCAAs, I believe, twice. He was one of the 2 people I lost to last year in the finals. The other one, Nazimov, he graduated, so Tomas Nazimov really was one of his biggest competitions, so Tomas is positioned well this year, probably.
And they've just introduced Thomas's opponent. Do you think, Kevin Boyce? Kevin Boyce, and he's from Caltech, from Los Angeles, folks. So we have fencers from all over the country.
And guys, I was looking at Tom's record, and he has had an outstanding career. In the men's sabre in 1993, he was number 1, 12-5 record overall. But Strazilkowski is one of the premier fencers that we have here in this NCAA championship.
Once again, you are seeing fencers who are not only the top in the National Collegiate Association championships, but these fencers are the top in the nation, period. And Thomas and George Calmer, who was just introduced from Penn, are among the best that this country has, period. And they're vying for spots on U.S. national and U.S. Olympic teams as well as this NCAA championship. Mike, what can you tell us about this fencer that's just been introduced?
Well, Jason Levin, actually, along with Kevin Boyce and myself, is from Los Angeles. I fenced him quite a bit. He transferred to Penn State to basically to fence, and I think it's helping him a lot. He's, I'm not sure if he's like the strongest choice tonight to win, but he definitely has a chance of making the top 4.
Great. Gareth, who's sauntering up here, the poor guy in his bout to get into the final, folks. Gareth Sarosi from Princeton University was injured in his last bout as he dramatically scored the final touch His ankle's going to be bothering him a little bit in this match. He is an excellent fencer. Whether that's going to get in his way, we'll have to wait and see, but it certainly would have to be a factor in the level of fencing that he's going to be able to put out in this final, but we're happy to see him here.
Yeah, it's too bad because he, the last month and a half, really has shined beyond, I think, what a lot of people thought he could do.
And coming up to the strip now, Mike, is Baron Rose. I think you know Baron pretty well. Where is he from, and what can you tell us about him?
Well, he's originally from New Orleans, along with George Kalmar from Penn. He fences for Yale. He's strong fencer. I was lucky enough to beat him last year to get into the top 4, and he got fit.
Mike, did you find his height to be a problem?
Well, actually, interesting question. Depending on the person, having that sort of height can be an advantage or a disadvantage. You tend to be slower and a little more clumsy, but I think he's done a good job of compensating for it. He's very well balanced when he fences, and he uses it well to counterattack, to hit someone on the arm as they prepare on the way.
Yeah, he's definitely tall. As we can see, we have 2 fencers from Penn and 2 fencers from Penn State. Steve Kovacs from Columbia, he's also got to be a favorite in this final, folks. He is just really a lot of fun to watch fence. John, we'll look forward to seeing him, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him go against Thomas Strałkowski.
Yeah, and then again, Kovacs, another Eastern Bloc fighter, somebody with roots from Hungary, I believe. Is that where he's from, or Czechoslovakia?
Hungary. He spent a lot of time training in Hungary, and you can tell when they are trained in other countries just how it pays off for them. So now these finalists are going to go to their respective strips. The finals will start on 4 strips. Finals meaning that there are 8 fencers now left in the competition from... How many started in this competition, Mike?
I believe it was 28.
28 started in the competition.
Let's set it up for you one more time. Strałkowski versus Boyce. Also Kalmar versus Levin. The winners will meet. Sarosi versus Rose and Glans versus Kovacs. The winners will meet and eventually proceed to the finals.
There you have it, folks. So we're starting off with 8 fencers, and pretty soon there will be 4. Now, unlike the team competition, these bouts, these matches, will be up to 15 touches. 15 touches. Mike, can you tell us a little bit about, we watched 5-touch bouts. What's the difference between fencing a match that is 15 touches and a match that's fencing 5 touches? Can you explain that to our viewers a little bit?
Sure. Well, in a 5-touch bout, if you get down 1 or 2 touches, it can be, particularly with double touches in sabre now, it could be a real detriment to your chances of winning. But if you're in a 15-touch bout, what you have to do is really build up a momentum and maintain that momentum, get a strong lead against someone to really be in a comfortable position to win. It's very different strategy going into a 15-touch bout than a 5-touch bout.
Mike, anyway, back to sabre, which is what we're going to see in a few minutes. You want to continue explaining sabre to us and what we're going to be watching?
Okay. It's similar to foil in that basically what you want to do is control the action. You do that either by initiating an attack or controlling the other person's blade. And as I was saying before, you can get a touch by either slashing or hitting with the point.
Now, Mike, when you say slashing, is this sort of like a cut? What actually is the fencer doing?
Yeah, it's a cut, sort of from the wrist or from the fingers, or if you're not too good, from the whole arm.
I think we have some sabers here, Mike. If I put a mask on for a minute, do you think you'd be able to show us what some of these cuts or slashes actually look like?
I'd be glad to.
Okay, let's do it. Actually, I'd like to put up this mask to the camera so that, folks, you can get a chance to see what it's like to be inside of a fencing mask. So as I walk forward, you are going to be looking outside of a mask and be looking at me through a mask. It's a lot like being inside of a bug's eye. It's really rather weird, and the first time that you put on that mask, it's a very strange experience. Now, oddly enough, when we put on this mask, it's as if there is no mesh. This metal mesh that you see, it's as if we have clear glass in front of our eyes. We don't even notice it. Anyway, I'm going to put on the mask, and Mike, being the expert saber fencer, if you're joining us again, first all-team All-American from Brandeis University, is going to show us a little bit how these fencers are going to be using the saber to make cuts.
All right, I'll hold this since you're going to have the mask. Basically, just I don't know how much of my arm you could see. Yes, Terrence is on guard now. You can slash either like this or hit with the point like this. And of course, when we go to see the finals, it's going to be a lot quicker than that. Now, in terms of a parry or something like that, if Terrence attacks me, I can parry like that, and then that's a repost, and that's my action, because I'm controlling his blade. Also, if he attacks, I could beat his blade, and that's me controlling the action again, where he initiates the attack, but then I turn around and control his blade and go. So that even if we both hit, it's my attack and his sort of remise. Here you go.
Mike, I think behind us we also have a lamé or a metallic vest that the fencers wear. Let's hold it up so that people can get an opportunity to see what this odd-looking space-age sort of thing is. Here we actually have one from Penn State who just won the women's foil team. They lent us the equipment. We're very indebted to them. And you'll see that it's made out of actually stainless steel. It's a metallic vest, and all of the arms and the torso is target. You'll notice that below the waist there is a white band that Mike is now touching. If a fencer were to cut at that white band, there would be no light scored on the machine. It would not be a valid touch. So the target area in saber is the mask, the arms, and the torso. And just to repeat what Mike told us earlier, you can cut any of those target areas, or you can use the point of the weapon to thrust at one of those target areas. So, Mike, thanks a lot for joining us, and we're sorry we didn't get to see you today, but you are Brandeis history, and we're proud to have you here in Waltham at Brandeis University. Thanks.
Thank you.
So, in just a minute, folks, we will be returning to the men's individual saber championships. So, yeah, so definitely a different psychology, a different approach. Leads can make a big difference in this. We are going to recommend that as you watch this, you select one fencer to focus your attention on. The fencing is very fast, and the actions occur at lightning speed. It's therefore difficult to follow at times. We'll be trying to fill you in and make things a little bit clearer to you, but it will be easiest if you select one fencer and you follow that person. Watch their legs, watch their arms, try to figure out what they're trying to do. And remember, the person who is aggressive, who makes the aggressive action, is almost all the time the person who's going to score the touch. John, this is one of your first exposures to competitive fencing. How have you found watching fencing, and what would you recommend to people?
Exhilarating, and as you just previously mentioned, once I started focusing on one fencer, then I started to understand what the sport was all about. You could see the way they parried, the way they riposte. I'm learning the terms, aren't I, guys?
You really are.
And it's interesting to see the way one person fences. Some, like a boxer, will be counter punches. I noticed some of the Notre Dame fencers were backing up but scoring. Some of the other fencers, the aggressive fencers, were taking the majority of the touches. So it is interesting to see not only the different sizes of the fencers, because they vary so much, but just to see the unique styles that they possess as well.